I'm Ani Gonzalez, and this is While the Baby Sleeps. So, this episode is going to be a little all over the place. Um, I have been, I have been dealing with a massive, like 4.5 month postpartum, like hormone shift, and I feel like I've been run over. I feel like I've been run over. I've been sick. I've had headaches. I've been dizzy. I've been nauseous. I have taken like my placenta tincture, which is literally like vodka. I've been having like 2.5 milliliters of vodka as soon as I wake up. Um, it's been it's been insane. And I feel like I'm finally coming through the other side of it, and fingers crossed I actually am. But it's been a roller coaster, and so I kind of want to talk about that today. I want to talk about how we will sit there and like especially like recovering people pleasers, people who've undergone like narcissistic abuse, types of trauma where we'll just sit there and we just people please until the day the cows come home, to the point where we lose ourselves entirely. And before I dive into all of my hormones and all of the things that have been happening recently, I want to use like a lighter subject because this is just as important as the other types of people pleasing. So I was like 12 or 13. I was going to a wedding and my aunt was doing my hair. And this aunt did like this like toddler style like thing on the top of my head, and it like overflowed, right? And then she curled it and then she put like flowers up underneath it. It was like kind of cute in theory, but like execution like it didn't work. I look at those pictures now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't say anything. I did not like it in the moment. And I went and told my mom, and my mom and I were just like, neither of us liked it, but my mother had like passed this down to me of just like, well, we're gonna hurt her feelings if we change it. And so I didn't. And I went through the entire wedding with like a toddler ponytail on the top of my head. And like there's pictures of it and everything. And I can't, number one, I can't believe it. I can't believe that I actually let that happen. But number two, that just kind of goes to show how we're modeling things for our kids, right? Like we're modeling it by my mother not helping me as a 12 to 13-year-old, like teach me to stand up for myself or to change something when I didn't like it. Could cause problems down the road. And so I've been, like I said, going through all these hormones, and I have been struggling. I have been struggling hardcore. Um, it's been tough to bounce back and forth between trying to be mom, trying to get house together, going through a busy summer, trying to work, adding in like a podcast. Like it's been a lot. And I what I really want to highlight right now is the fact that I I kept thinking in my head, I was like, there's not enough time for me. And I didn't realize that was a lie I was telling myself, but I was like, there was not enough time for me. Like, my husband goes to play soccer twice a week, and I was like, that's great. But I don't have like a specific thing to go do. So, like, there's no time for me. There's no time for me to go and do something or just escape. Like, I can't justify leaving the house, or I can't justify like locking myself in my room and having my husband play with the kids outside. I can't justify it. There's no way I can make that sound correct. And so weeks and weeks go by. We get to this point. I'm having a hard time physically. I've been having like the headaches, like, and I really had like I tweaked my back somehow. I needed to go to the chiropractor. I needed to go get a massage. And finally, I go and get those things done after I reach a breaking point. And my husband is just like, "What do you need?" And I was like, "Well, I've needed this for a long time, and I've needed this for a long time, and I've needed this for a long time." And he goes, "Audie, why didn't you why didn't you say anything?" And I'm like, I'm laughing at myself because it's so simple, right? I'm in a safe relationship. I know I'm in a safe relationship, and I could just ask for the things that I need, but still these old patterns sometimes will creep up on me, and I don't even know that they're happening until it's like it's already too late. And so luckily my husband and I, with all the skills that we've gained, we understand and we know and we recognize, like we're able to come together in those moments and see that like I got bulldozed by a pattern in my head that I didn't realize was still there. And we came together and we worked through it. But that used to look like massive fights where I was mad and resentful, like so resentful at him. I'm like, you and your stupid soccer, you get to go off and do whatever you want at all times. Like it doesn't even matter. And then he would fight me back, and there's no reason for it. So I go and get a massage. I go to the chiropractor. I spent like an entire day by myself for the most part. I went shopping. I'm redoing the vanity in my bathroom, and I needed like a little tray to put my stuff on. I also, this is besides the point, but I want to share this because I think it's important. I threw away hundreds of dollars in makeup, hundreds of dollars in makeup of things that I don't use anymore, is like old enough that like there's no donation or anything like that, like the proper disposal is to throw it away. But part of that was like letting go of the fact that my identity has changed. Like I am using different types of products. I am using different things on my skin. This stuff was bad for me. I never completely used it. And letting go of that and like shedding those things is kind of what sent me into this next like level of working with my husband and realizing I needed more was the fact that I was able to finally let go of some stuff. And it's so interesting because we find ourselves holding on to things and hanging on to it so tight that we're suddenly our entire house is like full of clutter. We're full of things that we don't need. And that's exactly what I had been doing. And so it's really interesting because the truth is, and I'm going to say this harshly, I guess, in a way, because I needed it harshly said to me, was there is always time. There will always be time for everything that you need. Like the laundry will get done. You don't need to sacrifice going to take a hot bath because the laundry will get done. Like it's not just going to sit there forever. It's going to fix itself. Um, and if we don't stop, if you don't take time to do those things, you're going to sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice until you're resentful at your children for just being children. Somebody makes a mess and you lose your mind. And like this is where I was at. I was at that point of being angry and frustrated and over the moon exhausted with these children because they were being children and I didn't have capacity for it. So and it's not just that, but like it's the same thing when like you don't get a break from like the dog. Like I don't know if you guys could hear the dog outside right now, but like I went through an entire phase of being super mad at my dog for being a dog. The same thing with my husband. He opens his mouth and it's stupid. He tries to touch me, and I'm like, get away from me. I can't handle you right now. And that's where we're going. Like, if we make sure that it's like, okay, laundry is done, and we're like going down the spiral. Dishes are done. We're going down the spiral. Kids are taken care of. Everything is done. And then we reach the point down here at the bottom where we're still in that spiral. Everything else is being taken care of, but your body is falling apart. Your mind is falling apart, and no one has helped you because you haven't asked for it. So this is what I'm going to say. Ask for help. Ask for freaking help. Do not sit there like you're this is what we do. We find ourselves we swim out into the middle of the pool, the middle of the ocean. We're in the deep end and we swim for hours and we're exhausted. And instead of swimming to the edge, we should be asking for help, like before we need it at the very end. Um, we sit there and we just start to drown, right? And we can call out for a floaty, but we're like, that's admitting defeat. And it's like, well, not really admitting defeat. It's like you swam out there, you took care of everything for everybody else, and you can ask for help, you can ask for something. And so instead, we choose to sit there. It's so prideful. We choose to sit there in the middle of the pool and drown in front of everyone. And that kind of ruins the party, right? It kind of ruins the party. Nobody wants to go to somebody's house where they know one lady is just going to swim out in the middle of the thing, swim there the entire time, and then drown. There, it's not joyful. It's not like holy. There's no positive things that happen there. So the goal is to swim out in the middle, take care of what we need to get done, and swim to the edge before we get exhausted. But most of us, we wait until the water is like creeping up until we're near death before we ask for help. So ask for a freaking floaty. Ask for it. Call someone. Scream out loud. There's going to be somebody there that's going to ask for a floaty. And if it's too far beyond the floaty, like your husband, your best friend, somebody's going to jump in there with you and help pull you to the surface, and that's okay. It happens, and it doesn't have to stay that way. It doesn't have to be that pattern the entire time. Um, because when you get into the rhythm of asking for help, when you get into the rhythm of taking care of yourself, you'll find yourself feeling the exhaustion before it really hits. And oh, this is my time, this is my cue, I need to get to the side of the pool. And we can kind of get into a good rhythm of that for a while. But I mean, just like me, I do this for a living. I help people find that spot. And it still surprised me. I didn't get to the point where I needed the floaty, but I was thinking, this is crazy. I've gone too far. This has gone too long. And with any life transition, sometimes we accidentally end up there. Like no matter how well trained we are with life transitions, with things that have swapped or changed, or new kids, or less kids, like you've got kids leaving the house, like whatever it looks like, when something has changed, you still need to be able to understand and adapt. But it's not going to be perfect. And so that's what I'm here to say is it's absolutely not perfect, but you need to find a floaty. You need to find somebody that's going to dive in after you and help drag you back to the side of the pool and get you out of there so you can relax and you can rest because you have to relax. You have to rest or you'll become resentful. And those are two things that they're interchangeable at any single point. It will happen no matter what arena, no matter how tired you are in one certain place, resentment is always on the other end. Um, So I would say find time for one thing that's going to help you move to the side of the pool, and comment it below if you want some accountability or whatever you want to do. Do not tell yourself that you don't have time, or there's not time for you, or it's too much, or do not freaking lie to yourself. I'm here to hold you. No, we're not lying anymore. It's 2025. We're not lying anymore. Um, so if you have time for doom scrolling, if you have time for Facebook, if you have time for this YouTube video, you have time for you. So, um, if it sounds like you, if you need some extra help, extra support, like, comment, subscribe, follow. I have a lot more content for you, and this has been While the Baby Sleeps.